SeaWorld Australia have just announced a new $50 million land. I'm Dan from themeparknut.com, and today we're going to talk all about New Atlantis. So SeaWorld Australia have just announced this morning a brand new precinct for their Gold Coast park called New Atlantis. Guests in the new land will find 3 new attractions. The Vortex, a top spin ride that is due to open December 2019. The Trident, a new permanent Skyflyer ride which is going to open in April of 2020. And the Leviathan, a new multi-million-dollar wooden coaster which is going to open in December of 2020. So while the announcement of this new precinct was unexpected, it's been clear for a couple of years that something was going to happen in this area of SeaWorld. Let's just rewind a little bit and have a look at the area that is going to become New Atlantis. In mid-2012, SeaWorld started advertising 2 upcoming new attractions. One was the Storm Coaster, which opened in December of 2013. But the second attraction they were advertising was a mysterious attraction called Wild. This attraction, Wild, was advertised as coming soon. There was no hard date ever put against it. But it was at this same time that land reclamation was occurring behind the Lighthouse Island on the eastern side of the park. However, in 2013 and 2014, there appears to be 2 events that have sort of derailed that Wild attraction. One happy and one a little bit sad. First, in 2013, SeaWorld found out that one of its polar bears was pregnant. Now, I've heard it's actually very hard to tell that a polar bear is pregnant, so this came as quite a surprise to the SeaWorld family. So a decision was made by VRTP to construct a polar bear preschool for their cub, and basically it's believed that the funds that were used to build that polar bear preschool, which was a success for SeaWorld, probably came out of the budget for Wild. Secondly, in 2014, very early in 2014, the Corkscrew Sea Viper roller coaster closed for maintenance, and it was soon found that there was some sort of structural issue, possibly rust related, that meant that this ride was not going to be safe to be reopened. So in June of 2014, that ride was completely permanently closed and very quickly removed from the park. So it appears that about that time, the plans for Wild, the attraction, were basically scrapped. There looked like there was a long period where the land reclamation had stopped, and nothing was sort of happening behind the island. We then very quickly got the Lighthouse Island being used for temporary attractions. First Dinosaur Island, and secondly Creatures of the Deep, with some success. Then very late last year, we got a new attraction added on the island. We saw the lighthouse get completely removed from the island, and we saw the construction of a Starflyer-esque ride called Skyflyer, which, to all intents and purposes, looks like a little bit of a temporary ride. The Skyflyer is 32 meters tall. You can check out our video of going on the Skyflyer down here. Now, when that opened, the Creatures of the Deep was still inhabiting the majority of the lighthouse, or former Lighthouse Island. Now, very early this year, the Creatures of the Deep attraction, well, the main part of it anyway, closed completely. And there appeared to be some earthwork going on the island itself. But no one really knew why. And now we do. This is the area that's going to become New Atlantis. So New Atlantis is going to have 3 attractions. The first of which to open will be a top spin attraction, which is going to be at the very front of the pathway of what was Creatures of the Deep. Now, it's a little bit cheeky that it's going to be a top spin attraction. In SeaWorld, we see you doing this. Dreamworld have had a ride very similar to that top spin called the Wipeout for many years that, due to maintenance costs essentially, has had to close in the last 6 months. So it's very cold that SeaWorld's gone, you know what we could put in there? A Wipeout clone. And we're going to call it the Vortex. But, you know, there is limited space on the island that they're going to be putting that on. So I understand there's only certain flat rides they could choose from. What's interesting to me is that backs directly onto dolphin enclosures. So whatever they're going to have there, they're going to have to block off the sound or very carefully protect the sound to not disturb the dolphins. So the second attraction that's going to come in April of next year is another Starflyer-esque ride, but this time they're going another 20 meters tall, which should make a significant difference. The Skyflyer is a good ride and you do get amazing views out of it, and if you were up another 20 meters, as you're going to be in the Trident from April next year, you're going to get a pretty amazing view of Southport and the area around it. But the big attraction that's coming here is clearly going to be the Leviathan coaster. So according to the concept art, the coaster is going to be occurring behind where the island was. So this is taking up all of that reclaimed land we were talking about earlier. It's not totally clear from the concept art how far back that coaster is going to go, but in theory now, because the Sea Viper corkscrew coaster has been removed behind it, it could actually go quite a depth back into the park. And I know they've said that this coaster is going to be at 1 kilometre long in path, so it's going to be quite a decent sized wooden coaster. And more importantly, it's really Australia's first modern wooden coaster. And while the general public might not think very much of that, roller coaster enthusiasts will be all over that. People have been talking about Movie World, SeaWorld, Dreamworld, one of them getting a wooden coaster. I didn't expect it would be SeaWorld, but it sounds like it's going to be a great addition and really well-themed part of the park. So for now we only have concept art to go on, and we know that these things do vary over time, and there's a chance that this could pull a wild and totally disappear for some reason that we'll never actually find out about. So for all the Aussie coaster fans out there, are you excited about the Leviathan, about New Atlantis, about getting a Wipeout clone back? About getting a taller Starflyer? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching my video on New Atlantis, the just announced new land that's coming to SeaWorld Australia. We'll be back on Friday with our regular theme park news in a minute video, so tune in for that. In the meantime, you can check us out on Twitter at ThemeParkNut, or our blog is themeparknut.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, cheers.